She stormed onto my porch like she owned the place, her heels crunching against the gravel. My daughter stood there calm, arms crossed, refusing to even flinch when Karen shoved a stack of papers in her face. "Sign it," Karen barked. "Live on this street, you follow our rules. That's how it works here." My daughter didn't move. She just stared at her and said, "I never agreed to any HOA, and I'm not signing your fake papers." That's when Karen's hand went into her purse, and I heard the metallic click before I even saw it. She pulled out a small black pistol and pointed it straight at my daughter's chest. "Then you don't live here at all," she hissed. I froze for a second, rage boiling in my veins, but my daughter's face didn't change. No fear, no panic. Just steady eyes locked on Karen like she already knew how this would end. "You really want to do this?" she said softly. "Because you just pointed a gun, the sheriff." Karen blinked, confusion flashing across her face. "Sheriff? Don't lie." "Shh. I know everyone here." My daughter pulled her badge from her jacket and let the metal catch. The sunlight. Karen's hand trembled, her finger still too close to the trigger. That's when I realized Karen had no idea who she had just messed with. Karen's face twisted, trying to hold on to her fake authority. "Badge or not, you can't stop me. This neighborhood answers to me," she shouted, but her voice cracked under the weight of her own fear. My daughter took one slow step forward, not breaking eye contact. "Put the gun down." Her tone wasn't a request. It was the kind of command that makes grown men freeze. But instead of backing down, Karen did something worse. She waved her gun toward the street and screamed, "HOA security." Now, from around the corner, two men in dark vests rushed forward. Their uniforms had bold white letters across the chest, HOA enforcement. But I knew better. They weren't cops. They weren't even licensed security. They were hired thugs with cheap gear and twitchy hands. One of them barked, "Ma'am, step away. You're under HOA authority now." I clenched my fists. HOA authority? On my own land? My daughter stayed calm, lowering her voice like she was baiting them in. "You boys really want to test that? Because impersonating law enforcement carries 10 years minimum." The men hesitated, glancing at each other. Karen snapped at them. "Don't listen to her. Arrest them." And in that moment, I saw the first crack in their confidence, because they didn't realize who my daughter really was. They were about to. The taller thug stepped closer, trying to sound tough. "Lady, badge or not, you're outnumbered. Put your hands where I can see him." His voice shook, just enough for me to notice. My daughter didn't move. Instead, she tilted her head and spoke into the small mic clipped to her collar. "Unit Bravo, confirm my location." A burst of static crackled, then a calm voice answered, "Bravo here. Eyes on target. 2 suspects in fake uniforms. Green light if they escalate." Karen's face drained of color. Who are you talking to?" Before my daughter could answer, the sound of heavy engines rolled in. Black and white patrol cruisers crept down the street, lights off, but unmistakable. Real deputies. Real authority. Karen spun toward me, panic breaking through her arrogance. You called them? You think they'll believe you over me?" "I'm the president of this HOA." I finally spoke, stepping down from the porch. "No, Karen, you just pointed a loaded gun at the sheriff. The whole street saw it." Neighbors had started to gather at their windows, some even stepping out with phones raised, recording everything. Every second of Karen's meltdown was being caught on camera. Karen tried to wave the pistol again, but her hands were trembling so badly the barrel wobbled in the air. One wrong twitch, and it would all end in disaster. That's when my daughter's tone dropped, sharp as a blade. "Last warning, Karen. Drop it, or I'll drop you." Karen's grip faltered, sweat dripping down her forehead. For a second, I thought she might finally lower the weapon. But then her pride kicked in. She screamed, "You don't scare me. This is my neighborhood," and jerked the gun upward, like she was about to fire into the air. The sound that followed wasn't a gunshot. It was a sharp crack as my daughter's boot connected with Karen's wrist. The pistol flew across the yard and landed in the dirt. Before Karen could even gasp, she was spun around, her arms locked tight behind her back. The fake HOA enforcers took a step forward. The rumble of engines stopped them cold. 2. Sheriff's UVs roared up, doors flying open, deputies flooding the street with weapons drawn. "Hands up," one shouted. The thugs froze, hands twitching. Realizing too late this wasn't the game Karen promised them, neighbors cheered from there. Porches, phones held high, voices echoing. She pulled a gun on the sheriff's daughter. "It's all on video," Karen thrashed, screaming over her shoulder. "You can't arrest me. I am the law here. Its whole HOA answers to me." My daughter tightened the cuffs, leaning in close so only Karen could hear. "No, Karen. You. Answer to me now." And that's when the deputies closed in on the fake enforcers while Karen, still shrieking, finally realized her empire of fear was about to burn down in front of the whole neighborhood. The deputies shoved the 2 fake enforcers face down on the asphalt, yanking their cheap vests off to reveal nothing underneath but sweat-stained t-shirts. The bold HOA enforcement patches peeled away like sticker sheet props for a con. Karen kicked against the cuffs, hair falling in her face, still trying to spit venom. "This is a mistake. I'll sue every single one of you. You don't know who I am." But her words were drowned out by the crowd. Neighbors had fully gathered, now families, kids, everyone with phones out. One man shouted, "She tried the same thing on me last year, locked my gate, and fined me for having my flag up." Another woman cried out she threatened to tow my car for parking in my own driveway. The deputies looked around, their faces hardening as the stories poured out. It wasn't just today. Kieran had been terrorizing the whole street for years. And then, like fuel on fire, one neighbor stepped forward holding a folder. I kept everything. Every fake notice, every bogus fine, every threat she left on my door. He handed it straight to my daughter. Karen's voice cracked, desperation replacing arrogance. "Stop. Don't listen to them. They're lying." But her knees buckled as she realized the truth. The walls she built with fear were collapsing. My daughter flipped through the folder, her expression cold. Then she looked straight at Karen and said the line that made the whole crowd erupt. "Funny thing about power, Karen, it vanishes the second someone calls your bluff."